What's going on everyone, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. And in today's video we're going to be talking a little bit about the news, updates or hints towards future content for Battlefront 2, which have come from Dennis Brandval's Twitter account since he's been quite active over the past few days. But before we get fully into this video, make sure to let me know down in the comments section below what content you would like to see in Battlefront 2 in the future. Also make sure to let me know what you would like to see come when the Geonosis season arrives, if we can still call it that. I don't know what we're going to call it in the future. Also make sure to smash a like to show support for Battlefront 2 on the channel, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with Battlefront 2 content and see exclusive gameplay videos in the future. But now let's get into today's news update, or hints towards possible future content. Now we're going to start off with more boring stuff and then move on to the more exciting stuff as the video goes on, to sort of build hype and all that kind of stuff. These are all tweets which fans put to Dennis Brandval while he's been active on Twitter. Then he simply replied, "This does not confirm things 100% for Battlefront 2 in the future, it's worth noting that. However, it gives us a little bit of an insight into what one of the main guys on the game does actually want to see in the game in the future." And he also does actually agree with some points and say that things could happen that the fans have tweeted at him. So we're going to start off with Brandon Gonzalez's tweet. He said, "What happened with all the white clone trooper armor that was in the alpha? Will we get it as a customization? It would be cool to play as a shiny." Dennis Brandval replied to this tweet saying, "Haha, that can be done if you guys really want it, smiley face." Now I think this would be cool, and it's something that I've covered in a previous video. I think that the battle armor and the shinies and all that kind of stuff should be progression in the game. Now what I mean by that is, when you first play Star Wars Battlefront 2, maybe from ranks 1 to 10, you should be a shiny clone trooper or a shiny droid or whatever you want to call it. Then between levels 10 and 20, maybe have a little bit of battle damage to your armor, and maybe have a color put to your armor if you want that, to show that you're a little bit experienced. Then levels 20 to 30, maybe have a little bit more battle damage. Maybe you could remove your helmet if you want to. Then levels 30 to 40, maybe have a bit more damages with some parts of your armor missing maybe. And then onto 40 and 50, maybe if you are a clone trooper, you could have your helmet off and have an eye patch or have scars on your face as well as your armor, that kind of stuff. I think it would be really cool to see progression based or level based battle damage kind of thing, or customization for your clone troopers or other soldiers in Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's something I wanted from the start, so I think it would be cool to get the shinies as an option back into the game. Now on to the second tweet. This is by Javier, and he says, "Thanks for the update, Dennis. Where are those droidekas? Maybe in the future," little questiony sort of chin scratchy face. Now Dennis Brandval says, "Maybe," and that was it. It stopped at that. Now it's a good point, where are those droidekas, because as we all seen in the sort of clone trooper update, or the customization update we got for Battlefront 2 last month, in the image that was first released you do see a droideka. Now a lot of people said it's Crash Speeder, which led to all the memes, but it is definitely a droideka. And then once the update was put into the game, this image was in the game, but the droideka was removed. So it shows that they are actually an asset for DICE in Battlefront 2, they just haven't actually put them into the game properly yet. I'd love to see them at some point, and as Dennis Brandval says, maybe they could arrive in the future. I think they have to. If they don't, it's going to be such a shame and a bit of a letdown, so we'll hope to see droidekas in Battlefront 2 at some point in the future. Now the next tweet is by Ewoks on Drugs. He says, "I was thinking while playing as the droids on Camino, wouldn't it be great if we have 1 or 2 skins for the droids? I did a bit of quick research and I know of one which is the Geonosian droids, sort of an orange colour. I looked on the internet and found camo and snow droids." Then you can obviously see all of the droids in the picture there. And then Dennis Brandval says droid skins would be awesome. Now I don't know why droid skins haven't been a thing or brought into the game yet. Maybe EA and DICE just don't really think there's enough skins to bring customization into the game for droids. Or maybe it's actually Disney who aren't letting them bring skins into the game for droids. We don't know, we're just going to have to wait and see. However, I think customization should be a thing for all of the troopers in Battlefront 2. I think it's unfair if one side has loads of customization, especially if it's new customization, because then they are the side that everyone's going to want to play as when the customization comes into the game. For example, when the clone customization came in last month, everyone wanted to play as the clones, where there was no new customization for anyone else at all, whereas if they brought in clone customization and droid customization at the same time, people would want to play as both to get their experience and play with the new customization that's in the game. Now on to the next tweet. Ian Phil tweeted saying, "So great that you expanded the roadmap, great content is coming in the future. Can we get more appearances like TIE or Rebel Pilot and maybe choose the gender for our troopers?" Dennis Brownval replied saying, "More appearances are coming. We're currently not looking to include gender options for each class. They are kind of characters by themselves." Which kind of makes sense. I guess that the classes are actually characters themselves. Changing the gender might be a bit iffy. I don't see too much of an issue with it, but I understand where Dennis is coming from by saying that the classes are kind of characters in themselves. But as for Rebel Pilots and TIE Pilots, I think again there should be customization in the game. I mean, it's kind of a big deal when it comes to Star Wars TIE Fighter Pilots and Rebel Pilots. We get to see loads of Rebel Pilots the whole times in the original trilogy. However, I don't know which class the Rebel Pilot and the TIE Fighter Pilot would be for, or whether they'd just be reinforcements on their own. I think they are more likely to be reinforcements, but we'll just have to wait and see if EA and DICE do bring in TIE Fighter Pilots and Rebel Pilots and that kind of stuff into the game customization wise. I'd love to see it, but I'm just unsure if it will arrive. Now on to the big tweet. This was not in reply to anything at all. This was purely Dennis Brownval saying, "Your screams are like music to my audio receptors, #soon." When I first seen this, I was a little bit confused. I had no idea what he was on about and I thought he'd maybe gone a little bit crazy. But then it was actually pointed out that "your screams are like music to my audio receptors" was a line for General Grievous in the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 game, and the #soon on the end of this tweet shows to me that we could actually be getting a reveal for General Grievous sooner than we thought we would. General Grievous does actually arrive in Battlefront 2 next month, so I would expect to see more of him in the coming weeks as we lead up to his release into the game. After all, he is probably the most anticipated hero or villain for Battlefront 2, so I do think EA and DICE will really big up General Grievous's arrival in the game by putting out a lot of promotional material for us to absolutely cream over. I hope we do get to see more sort of reveals of the future heroes in Battlefront 2 soon. It's a shame if we don't, and I'm really counting on it. I think it's going to be amazing when Obi-Wan, General Grievous, Anakin and Count Dooku do arrive in the game over the next few months. But that is all of the news and information we have, or general news updates we have for Battlefront 2 so far. So as always, I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of Dennis's tweets? What customization would you like to see come to Star Wars Battlefront 2, and do you think we will get more reveals of the upcoming heroes soon? While you're here, smash a like on this video as well to show support for Battlefront 2 on the channel, and if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with all Battlefront 2 content and see exclusive gameplay videos in the future. But other than that, we'll see you in the next video.